1.55 kilometers of racing. The drivers making their way to the starting grid. And we've already had a pair of thrillers. Pole position, Anatoly Kavalkin from James Igotzi, Matthias Ferreira and Alex Powell, Due De Decker and Jevan David, Jan Pesodowski and Rashid Al-Daheri, Harley Keeble and Alexander Bondarev, then Ian Eichmans and Freddie Slater, Kirill Kutskov and Kai Sorensen, Will McIntyre and Jimmy Helias, Renaud Franco, Josh Erfen, Maxime Rem and Adam Hideg, Nacho Tunion and we also have Alex Kubenko, Tobias Clausen and Maciej Gledij, David Walter and Antonio Apicella, Akshay Bora and Anea Frey, Lucas Samalisto, and in trouble on the start-finish straight we have Nathan Ty. They are not getting his kart started. Right, Anatoly Kavalkin just keeping the pace nice and serene at the front end of the field. James Igotzi in second place. It'll be Matthias Ferreira on the inside line of the second row, and Alex Powell of Jamaica, who was leading before this morning's heat, now finds himself P4 on the starting grid. But he's a double winner this weekend. Kavalkin is too. James Igotzi a triple winner. And Alex Powell, of course, going to be fighting his way forward. Whatever happens for Jevan David in P6, he can be proud on his 14th birthday. He is there on the world stage, flying the flag proudly for Sri Lanka. And he's already been given instructions from home. You've already proven yourself. Give it full send. See what happens. They come out of the final turn and onto the home straight, and we are going to get ourselves underway in this OK Junior final. Ready? It's a full start.
Yeah, it looks like Kavalkin was just a little bit too eager on the throttle there. Pulls away from the rest of the pack when they just weren't ready to accelerate. We'll go round again. This is for the third time now. Obviously, the first time that they went around, it was not the driver's fault, apart from, unfortunately, Nathan Ty with that retirement. But we go round again and hopefully go green this time round.
Maybe a little bit of pre-race jitters and nerves for Anatoly Kavalkin. The young Russian has never been in pole position for an FIA Karting final. So this is obviously new territory for him to run the pace of the field. But what an extraordinary chance for him. And the 10 points in the championship for Kavalkin now put him firmly into the hunt at the front end of the field. He's not quite in the top 10 of the drivers' standings yet, but if he remains in the top 3 at the end of this race, he's certainly going to be. So there's a very exciting opportunity for him now. Amazing that we're going to see a couple of the drivers from the top 10 of the championship not actually make progress through. One of them, Thomas Stolchamanis, who was third last time out, sadly not in the final for this one. That just shows you from one week to the next, you never know how your form is going to change. 17 laps then, and this time Anatoly Kavalkin and James Igotzi need to be alongside each other as they come to the starting gantry. That's only the second. Oh, that's a kart stranded on the circuit. That's one of the Tony karts. Now that is Alexander Kubenko. Alexander Kubenko has stopped out on the circuit. That's disastrous for the Russian, but we are going to race now. Up to the first corner, Anatoly Kavalkin and Igotzi get a great start. Powell gets a beautiful start. So too does Jevan David. Terrible start for Ferreira and Due De Decker. And Kavalkin and Powell are already battling away. Powell is through into second place. Great start from the Jamaican. So Anatoly Kavalkin leads, but Alex Powell in second place. Igotzi third, David fourth, and Ferreira in fifth. De Decker in P6. And it's already a fabulous start as Alex Kubenko walks away from the scene, I do believe. But an absolute disaster for the Russian. The race carries on regardless, and it is a very exciting race from here on out as they come into the hairpin for the first time on the back straight. Is everybody going to get through cleanly? Yes, they have. So Kubenko is out, but the rest of the field fighting for victory already.
Absolutely outstanding start there from Alex Powell. Oh, and up the inside there. That's a move from Matthias Ferreira as he gets himself up in another position as he now makes his way into fourth. But Alex Powell, brilliant start around the outside of turn 2 to get himself in a second. You can see the heat waves on the track as they make their way down the home straight.
Now, there's an interesting dynamic. David has lost ground. He's lost about 4 places as Kavalkin drifts wide, nearly loses the lead to Powell. Now, Jevan David lost ground in the final turn, lost the place to De Decker. He got through into 5th. David slipping behind Pesodowski, Keeble, and Al-Daheri down into P9. And what that's done is it's put him right in front of Freddie Slater. So David and Slater could well team up here and start to go through the gaggle in unison. This could be very interesting. De Decker on the inside with the 277 of Jan Pesodowski to hold off Keeble, and running wide, that's Kutskov. Kutskov has tangled there with one of the Forza Racing karts, and I think that is Kutskov off the road completely, and it's Kai Sorensen, I think, who's dropped down the order. So Kirill Kutskov is out as De Decker battles with Keeble. Keeble trying to hold it right round the outside, and he manages to keep his place in front of Pesodowski, Slater, and Jevan David. Here comes Keeble to the inside line of De Decker. Can't get through.
Yeah, Keeble, good start here. So he's went from 9th to 6th in 2 laps of the race. He'll be looking to make his way forward. But you can see Alex Powell there still sitting behind in 2nd position. There's Harley Keeble just sitting behind doing De Decker.
Oh, that's Slater. Slater's got the move on Pusodowski, and so too is Ivan David. They both managed to get up the inside. McIntyre's lost a couple of places in that fight as well, a bit further behind them. So McIntyre losing some ground. Look at the leading trio. Kavalkin, Powell, Egozzi, and now Ferreira's joined them to make a quartet. This could go anybody's way.
Yeah, this is so close between all of them. You can see already making a move there, or defending for his position. Sorry, that's Matías Ferreira trying to make his way past James Egozzi. Egozzi just holding the inside line. Is he going to have a look at Powell, or is that just a defensive line there from Tony Cupper on the switchback? Matías Ferreira's going to try it. Is he going to get squeezed over the curve down the straight? Now they go down towards the first corner. He manages to hold his line. James Egozzi signals in the air. What are you doing, mate? As they try to catch on to the leading 2 through the top corner. Egozzi goes defensive, doesn't want to let Ferreira through.
It's 2 by 2 hurrah now. Kavalkin and Powell in 1st and 2nd. Egozzi and Ferreira 3rd and 4th. De Decker and Slater 5th and 6th. Slater bangs in the fastest lap, 57.0. He's absolutely determined. He wants to fight his way back into a winning position, and Slater's got every chance. He was 2nd overall in time qualifying behind Egozzi, so he's got a chance here, Slater, to tuck his way through in behind De Decker in the BWT colours of the Kart Republic machine. And 7th place for Keeble, 8th for Ivan David, 9th for Pusodowski, 10th for Bondarev, and then it is Helias, Aldaheri, Irfan, McIntyre, Hideg, Clausen, Tunion, Walter, Frankot, and Anpiligov, who has fought his way back from 36th and is now in 19th. That is astonishing.
That's an amazing start there from 36th to 19th. Not many people can say they're able to do that. That's a move there from Ivan David. Sorry, not Ivan David. Ivan David gets overtaken there, loses the position as Jan Pizarovsky makes his way up into 7th position.
That's
and
Powell.
That's Powell into the lead.
Powell leads the race, and it's a big move from Alex Powell. He has taken the lead in front of Anatoly Kavalkin. So the Jamaican hits the front in an FIA Karting final for the first time. He's come close many times before, but he needs to stretch away. A little bit of a nudge there from Kavalkin as they edge their way further forward. They're trying to get away. Ferreira's getting up alongside Kavalkin. Egozzi trying to squeeze in. Ferreira through in a 2nd place. The Brazilian gets into 2nd. There's a bit of momentum here from Ferreira. He was gifted the win last time out due to a penalty for Slater. He does not want to be known as a gift house. He wants to win on his own merit, and now Kavalkin is going to try and take on Ferreira, while Ferreira takes on Alex Powell. Down the main straight they come, and it's the Jamaican from the Brazilian, the Russian, the American, and Freddie Slater is right in there now in P5 from Harley Keeble. Powell protecting on the inside from Ferreira. This is going to get pretty spicy from here on in.
Yep, it was a 4-kart train, now it's a 6-kart train as Powell goes on the defensive, parking his car on the apex of the corner, not giving Ferreira even a sniff at the lead, not letting him even look at the inside line, denying him all opportunities. Is Alex Powell, as you can see, still defending the inside line. Matías Ferreira just trying to find a move round, and then talking about a move round there, that's an attempt of an overtake there as Kavalkin tries to make his way back through. He's managed to do it. Egozzi down to 4th, but Powell and Ferreira are starting to pull away a little bit from this gap. Should they work together and try and pull away from the rest of them? Maybe not. Not in the eyes of Powell.
Not in your Nelly. Powell is going to make the lip wide out of the final turn. Ferreira going to be side by side. Ferreira takes the lead. The Brazilian's through. Kavalkin's through as well. Powell was trying to back his opponents into the squabble of the gaggle, and now that's Harley Keeble in 4th position. He's worked his way forward. He's trying to edge his way past Alex Powell. Freddie Slater is right there in P5 as well. This could be one of the most intense junior finals we've ever seen in the FIA Karting Championships, particularly in the European contest. Ferreira, Kavalkin, Powell, Keeble, Slater, Egozzi, Pusodowski, David in the top 8. Very close together. Less than a second covering them all, and that's defensive lines from Kavalkin, but Egozzi's going to get up the inside of Powell as well. Powell gets through. Egozzi storms by. Slater into 3rd. Game on!
Yeah, great move there, and that's up the inside. Slater catches him sleeping. Harley Keeble loses another 2 positions. Alex Powell manages to get through as well. So Slater up in a 2nd, Powell into 3rd. But look at the gap that Matías Ferreira has. 1 second over Slater behind, and Powell and Keeble need to try and catch on to the back of Slater now.
So Freddie Slater needs to make up a second on Matías Ferreira. Hashtag challenge accepted. Up the inside now. That's Erfan making up ground. Bondarev is through there as well. A bit of a run wide there as Bondarev gets squeezed out. No, sorry, that is Jimmy Helias who gets squeezed out. The Frenchman losing ground ultimately. A very tough battle for them as they continue to charge their way forward. This is going to be such a close battle as they run through onto the far side. Ferreira now 0.8 of a second in front of Freddie Slater. An interesting battle. Alex Powell dueling away for third with Harley Keeble. Anatoly Kavalkin there in P5 from Jovan David. Then it is James Zagotzi down in P7 now as a result of the challenge for battles. But how about this? This is now a battle of nerves between Ferreira and Slater. If it finishes like this, they will be tied in the European Championship fight. Ferreira and Slater will have 70 points apiece. Never has Ferreira wanted to stay in the lead of a race more. We've got a slow kart on the main straight. Somebody is going slowly. That is, I think, the 260, the Forza kart of Mark Kastelich. So Kastelich is slowing, unfortunately. We've got Alex Powell battling for third with Harley Keeble. Keeble is making another go at it here. The two leaders have broken clear and have started to stretch away. This is where Keeble can now start to work with Alex Powell and start to catch up with the two leaders, but he decides against it, goes for the move into third position. So now he is on the podium.
Yep, Keeble clearly feels like he's the fastest car out of the two of them. They really need to try and put their forces together and catch on to the back of the championship leader, well, tie championship leader at the moment in time of Slater and Ferreira. Slater just slowly chipping away at the gap that Ferreira has down the straight, but you can see 4 tenths is now what separates Ferreira and Slater. It was a second. 4 tenths is now what only separates them. Alex Powell and Harley Keeble actually pushing down the straight, and that will help them catch on to the back of both of them.
So Harley Keeble in third, Alex Powell P4, the original pole sitter, Anatoly Kavalkin in fifth position. Freddie Slater bangs in another fast lap, 56.7. He's got that gap to Ferreira down to 0.4 of a second. As it stands, it'll be Ferreira that leads the championship, but they will be tied for points, 70 apiece. Ferreira getting the lead based on how many finals they've won, because of course Ferreira has won 2 if he takes this one. Slater will take the lead of the championship if he takes this race away. So the two main protagonists in the European Championship have somehow managed to find their way back into first and second from the depths of difficulty. And look how close Slater is now to Ferreira, the Brazilian versus the Englishman. Here they come down the straight. We've got a spin further back in the pack. It's one of the Paralins, I think. No, sorry. It is Gustav Wisniewski, I think, that has had a spin in the middle of the pack. One of the Sauber drivers. And I think that is Wisniewski. Yes, it is. What a shame for the Polish driver. He was making up places very quickly indeed in the field. The dust rose across the circuit. Gustav Wisniewski trying to get going again and has managed to do so. There's 2 other karts involved in it. So there's 2 more gone. That's Mark Kastelich and Antonio Apicella. So 2 more drivers involved in that one as well. We only saw Gustav Wisniewski going off, but the other 2 have gone there as well. And that is 2 more retirements then. Kastelich and Wisniewski. Wisniewski continues. Kastelich and Apicella are out of the race. Here's Powell versus Kavalkin, and looks like Alex Powell is doing his best to hang on in front of the Russian.
Yeah, Alex Powell now just hanging on, but not for any longer, as we see Kavalkin slip up the inside. The Paralin now ahead of the Argenti kart, Republic kart, but Freddie Slater, he's risen from the depths of despair. It was all looking so dark earlier on in the weekend with that retirement and with that collision between him and teammate Dion Gauda, but now he's challenging back for the lead of the race. Matías Ferreira will be quaking in his boots as he looks behind and sees the Ricky Flynn Motorsport car of the current championship leader. Freddie Slater is here to take back his crown.
When was the last time someone came from 12th position on the start of a final grid in the junior final of an FIA karting weekend to come through for the victory? He hasn't done it yet, Freddie Slater, but he's definitely going the right way about it. He's got 5 laps to go at the end of this one. Now that's Jovan David. Jovan David has caught and passed Alex Powell. So Jovan David is now in the top 5. The Sri Lankan Elkin going beautifully on his birthday, doing a great job as they come down the main straight. So Ferreira and Slater, less than 0.2 of a second between them now. Slater will want to make this move nice and quickly. He won't want Ferreira to know he's coming. He's got to make a very big move. It's not going to come here. He's just a little bit too far back, but down that back straight, Slater may get a chance into the right-hander. So watch for Slater as he follows Ferreira. Oh, it looks like we've had a contact at the hairpin. Let's do it to Decker. Decker has come together with Edgar and Piligov, I do believe. And Piligov has lost ground from the back of the grid, and Piligov fought his way all the way to 15th. And unfortunately, he's tangled with Decker. So all that hard work is undone. What a shame for the Frenchman. It's been a very tough fight from him.
Yeah, that's a shame to see there, but Douay Decker also retires from the race. That's a shame to see him bow out in such a difficult moment. But Freddie Slater, 2 attempts off the back of Matheus Ferreira now. He caught onto him so quickly, but Slater is struggling to get within overtaking range of the current leader. You can see the gap just fluctuating, pretty much staying the same. You could see Matheus Ferreira actually gained a little bit of time over Slater on the previous lap, and with 4 laps remaining, there's not long left for Slater to get within an overtaking zone and actually pull off the maneuver.
One of 2 things is playing out here between these two. Either Ferreira has had a little bit of pace in reserve and now he's gung-ho trying to get away, or Slater has just taken a little bit of a breather to look after the tyres, look after the brakes, and now he's going to have a fresh go at him. It definitely looks as though the latter could be playing out. Slater knows that the best time to get Ferreira is right at the bitter end of the race. In the final 2 laps or so, we've only got 3.5 to go, so Slater is going to try and time this right. He's backed out of it a little bit, giving himself some breathing space, giving himself a chance to think. Now he's going for it into the final turn. Freddie Slater takes the lead in the final. What a comeback! 12th to 1st. He is back in the lead of the European Championship if he can hold this.
Very late overtake there from Slater, but commits to the inside line, takes that position and will take it with glory. Now this brings Harley Keeble into the occasion. Can the Tony Kart driver make his way into 2nd position? He started in 9th on the grid and he's on a great run right now. Matheus Ferreira in trouble. He's already lost 1. He doesn't want to lose another as they make their way down towards the back corner, defending on the inside, but Keeble's up the inside. He manages to make the overtake and he'll secure that 2nd position. Ferreira, hand in the air, doesn't know what's going on as the Car Republic car just goes backwards down the grid.
Now that is great news for Slater, terrible news for Ferreira, because down to 3rd place he's going to lose 4 more points, and that will put him on 61 compared to Slater on 75. Keeble getting into 2nd place pretty much guarantees Slater a decent lead out of this victory. And I have to say, considering that a moment or 2 ago they were dead level on points, Ferreira trying again on Keeble to get back into 2nd place. He's doing his best to come through. So now Ferreira will work with Keeble to try and get back on terms with Slater. 2 laps to go. He's going to have to spend this lap working to get closer again to Slater, and he can now use Keeble as a little bit of a battering ram almost to squeeze up the inside and hopefully jump them both. But it's going to be a tough mission with Slater on the pace he's on.
Yes, Slater, he's looking so strong out in the lead right now. 3 tenths is the gap which separates Freddie Slater and Harley Keeble. Just not close enough to make an overtake for the time being. But with 1 more lap remaining in this race, Keeble is running out of time, but he'll push to the last moments of the race. Slater, he's not quite done yet.
Still some great battles all the way through the field, especially towards the top 10. Last lap begins, and it's Slater, Keeble, Ferreira. Very, very difficult to know who's going to get this now. Ferreira's dropping back a little from Keeble. Keeble has nothing to lose here, so he's going to come after Slater. Slater not quite as strong through turn 2, so this could be an opportunity. He's chopped across on Keeble. That backs Keeble back into Ferreira. Perhaps a little bit of tactics there from Slater just to protect himself a little bit. This might be exactly what he needs. He can lose a few points more to Ferreira if he denies. Oh, we've got an off further back. The CRG running wide there. That is unfortunate, but it's Gerozim Skulinov who's run wide at the 2nd corner, sorry. But here comes the trio. What a renaissance from Freddie Slater. He's been absolutely mighty in this final. If you came into this one thinking it was done, if you thought it was over, you definitely don't know the Freddie Slater we know. Out of the final turn, Freddie Slater is only just going to take... Oh my goodness! No! Keeble snatches it! Keeble snatches it at the line! Slater was celebrating! Harley Keeble, point 2!
He sees Slater celebrate, slacks off for a moment of a second, and up the inside on the switchback, Keeble catches him lacking. Slater will be devastated.
Can you believe what we've just seen at the death? A photo finished in FIA Karting. My goodness, from Harley Keeble, there is the proof. Never say never. Never give in. You just don't know when your chance is going to come. Harley Keeble is a winner in the FIA Karting European Championship.
A huge congratulations to our drivers, and now they will lift their trophies aloft and receive the garlands of flowers. In third position for Brazil, Matheus Ferreira! And in second position for the United Kingdom, Freddie Slater! And on the top step of the podium, your race winner, also for the United Kingdom, Harley Keeble! Now the Circuito Internazionale. Our junior drivers getting treated to a firework practice over the circuit. They received their garlands of flowers as well. Now the party really can begin. On a momentous day for sport in Italy and of course back home in England. Certainly for Harley Keeble, it's coming home. What a fantastic result. Congratulations as well to the winning team manager, Marco Ardigo for Tony Kart Racing.